Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome to another Quick Shot review. I'm your host Luke and you are the Cheap Shot Nation, and this week we have been to see The Strangers Chapter 1. Pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of the original Strangers film that came out in 2008. It is a very strange one because I honestly thought this might be a bit of a prequel, with the second one being the shot-for-shot remake. But there is no reason to make this a shot-for-shot remake because it is creepy enough on its own as a concept. Now, I only know that this is pretty much shot-for-shot because of what people have told me about the original Strangers. I haven't ever actually seen that film. Therefore, I probably have a different opinion to this film than a lot of others, because I actually really enjoyed this one. As a standalone film, without the Strangers title, this probably would have gotten more better reviews, I would say. It's shot really well. The performances are really quite believable in terms of how they portray these characters. Madeline Pesh playing Maya, Ryan Bone playing Jeff Morrell, and they both sort of have this really decent chemistry. Now, as with a lot of horror / home invasion / thriller movies, the main characters, the protagonists, do make a lot of silly mistakes. Things that you would never ever do apart from being in a horror movie and having a camera in your face, like leaning over to kiss your girlfriend whilst you're driving on a country road and expecting there not to be some issue with that, for example. Anyway, the official breakdown of this movie is: after their car breaks down in an eerie small town, a young couple is forced to spend the night in a remote cabin, as if anything could happen in a cabin in a woods. Nothing bad, of course. Panic ensues as they are terrorised by 3 masked strangers who strike with no mercy and seemingly no motive. Yeah, pretty much true. They don't strike very often, but they do strike with no mercy. And I think the creepiest thing about this is that it's not that it's portrayed as a real story. I'm sure this has probably happened at some point. Probably not to this extent, but, you know, home invasions do happen. It's sad reality. But I think that what makes this film creepy for me is the fact that they don't have a motive. We don't know anything about the antagonists here. You just get all let's stop at the diner, let's stop in front of this garage, and of course expect nothing bad to happen. Oh dear. Anyway, this director is Renny Harland, and it's written by Brian Bertino and 2 others. Now, you've got the pin-up, the person with the pin-up mask. You've got the doll face mask, and then you've got the scarecrow mask. Now, the scarecrow guy is pretty cool. He carries around a big axe and he wears a sort of sack over his head. Very reminiscent, actually, to Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 2. But yeah, there's no words. There's nothing that happens apart from a couple of bits of screaming. Maybe they don't really say anything. Again, makes that really creepy, doesn't it? The angles that were used were really quite claustrophobic when they were trying to escape. You've got the woods with the mist, and that's really cool. It gets thicker and thicker as they go through the woods. So everything about this film, the basics of this film are here. Like I say, I couldn't call it a slasher because there isn't much slashing going on here, but it's certainly very creepy, and I really enjoyed that element of it, as well as the cinematography. The director clearly took a bit of time doing this, but then if it's a shot-for-shot remake, pretty much, then was it this director that took those chances? No, it was the original one. But it's a very loose description there, but yeah, I do feel like Madeline Pesh and Ryan Bone do a really good job of portraying this sort of situation, what you would do. Now, there are a few things that did annoy me, like Ryan Bone's character Jeff going back, leaving his girlfriend alone in a cabin in the woods to go and get his asthma medicine, his inhaler, which seemed to be really far away from where they were living. The fact that we've seen this very recently in Tarot, that the protagonists seem to be really quite rich and driving a brand new car and being able to just book an Airbnb in the middle of the woods that's probably just really expensive, and I want some more reality in my horror movies. I want to feel like the characters that I'm supposed to be feeling for, and it just doesn't happen with The Strangers, and that's probably the thing that got me the most with this film. It feels like a student project. It is not terrible. I did enjoy it for what it was. It's one of those lowbrow horror movies that I do enjoy. And if you can hear that, that's Tilly the dog barking in the background of this video. So if you like dogs, please do like and subscribe. And if you're on the podcasting channels, then do the same thing. You might hear her every so often. You may even hear a goose in the background. I am living in the world of Dr. Dolittle, apparently. And apparently the tagline is, they don't need a reason. Right. It is. And the filming locations are Slovakia. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. The worldwide gross for this film on the opening weekend is 12 million, which is pretty decent, actually. Don't know how much it cost to make, but I'd say that's pretty cool. I'd like to make 12 million off a film that I've released, maybe even this one. I'm never going to make 12 million, but yeah, I think the other struggle here is that because there's only two main characters, you don't really get that sense of dread. You get it when they split up that original time, but who would leave their girlfriend in the cabin in the woods, in the middle of the woods? He clearly wasn't suffering from an asthma attack when he left. He got on a bike and put a helmet on and drove. It just made no sense. But yeah, I think but that's the writing. That's the way it's written for this one, and you just hope that at some point, a director is going to read the script and go, that makes no sense. Let's rewrite it. But no, they just continue with it because they want to make the movie and get the money pretty much straight away. Like I say, it does have its moments, but then it does have its annoyances as well. It's very middle of the road, but I did enjoy this one more than other films that I've seen recently that are the same middle of the road. Tarot was absolutely awful. This is a small step in the right direction, but only a small one. So if you're looking for a film and you haven't seen the original Strangers film, then give this one a go. But obviously, you know, if you don't want to, then that's your choice. This is why films are great. Cinema is fantastic, and I just encourage you to go to the cinema and watch a film. Whether I like it or not, it's down to you to make up your own mind. Do not read what others have written or what others are telling you about a film and make your mind up from that. Go and watch the film if you have the facility to do so. Enjoy yourself, get yourself a box of popcorn and a drink, and just sit and enjoy the film. Some films are ultimately unenjoyable, and you'll want to burn out your own eyes. But the fact that you're supporting an industry that's been around for over 100 years is fantastic. And it means I can keep making these podcasts, which I really enjoy doing, and I hope you enjoy listening to them. On that note, I don't actually know what I'm going to go and see this week. I was going to go and see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes before that goes off the cinema, but then Garfield's on as well. So, I mean, I'm really torn. Apes or cats? I think I'm leaning towards cats, but I know Garfield will be on for a little bit longer than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is probably on its last sort of run before it comes off the cinema. So, if you got some suggestions, please drop them in the comments section, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much, film fans. Goodbye.
Hiya.